Test. 1, 2, 3. Wow, my thing is loud.
Test, test.
Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Doors! Hi there, buddy. Boom, boom. Blue. Why am I so loud? Testing. 1, 2, 3. The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy frog. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Test. Ooh, whoop. Oh boy. Here we go.
If mid-run, that crash is up more interesting. Camera's over. And the camera, where's the live stream? I just want to see how you do it. Sounds like there's a live mic somewhere. Yeah, right here. Where's the mic somewhere else? I think it's just this one. Yeah. As soon as I do this, it's off.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Sebring International Raceway for U.S. Drift Circuit Formula Drift Pro-Am round 4, the finals. If you're just now joining us, we already had qualifying, and we had an awesome qualifying where most of the drivers seem like they're making good use of all the track. And now we are going to move on to our first battle, which is going to be a bye run. We just had a little bit of camera footage of a plane taking off into the wind. It's really windy out here today, guys, so we're going to see a little bit of, we're hoping that we're not going to see any turbulence out of the drone footage. We know it's going to be really important on this course. All these drivers have been coming in. If you haven't seen this layout yet, we've got an outside zone that's full commitment, a blind corner, going to a second outside sweeper with an inside clip on this layout. And the only inside clip you see out here has been a really big indicator of who's going to win today, because it's a really big choke point for most of the drivers. A lot of them are coming in with too much momentum, overshooting that inside clip, and they're ending up not being able to position themselves for the last outside zone. So here we are dressed in our completely casual clothes. Tiny, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I see you're excited for the event today. You're holding onto your cap and dealing with this whole situation. We have our first bye run today. We're excited to see how these guys perform, but we also see that this is going to be more of a battle of grit and showing who's boss, like Tony Danza.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to be able to have a champion moving into this pretty soon. So if you haven't been following the championship, we have a strong championship lead by Luis Lanz, who's in the first place at this moment. He's done a great job in every single round of competition, and it's going to be to the point where he just needs to get through his top 16 run. And here we go. First run looks like it's going to be a bye run. I believe this is Stephen Tassinaro making his way around the track here. Hopefully putting on a clinic of how this track is supposed to be run, making his way into that inside clip, doing a great job tucking in. He's going to be able to use all of that deep last outside zone because of the fact that he rotated his car, slowed himself down on that inside clip. That's exactly what we want to see out here all day today. And there you go to start things off. We got a bye run.
That was fantastic from Stephen Tassinaro. Yeah, I was also talking to the mom earlier. Sweetheart of a woman. She's excited to be here to see him run. But seeing him run through that first outer zone with nice angle, little to no bobble from what I saw from back here. And then the transition was nice and buttery smooth going through the whole track and then going right into that inner clip. Oh, man, he did a fantastic job transitioning to that final outer zone.
Absolutely, and I'm ready to see some action. I believe now we're going to go into our tandem battles. That was our only bye run that we're going to have to witness during this top 16. Everything else is going to be action nonstop until we get to our finals. And looking at this next battle here, I believe this is going to be Andrew Grindle. Yep, this is going to be Andrew Grindle versus Eric Noguera. So both of them making their way into that burnout box. You can see them there behind the Golden Grown and Shift Culture tents there. Thank you to our sponsors there, Golden Grown, Shift Culture. Thank you to OMP Racing, Kenda Tires, Link ECU, Taxi Garage, and many, many more. we have a great team of sponsors that have been supporting us this entire championship, and many of them have been with us since last year. So we're hoping that we're going to see more of them with us next year, and we definitely wouldn't be here without them.
We have a lot of great sponsors, like you were saying before, and I love seeing the different kind of communities that come from different sponsorships. From last OSW, when we had the veterans organization that was out there, a great organization to be a part of.
Yeah, the Veterans Trust was out with us last round. They brought a simulator out there with us. They even had a bar tab on the back of it.
Yep.
It was made out of a NASCAR. And so really great organizations, like you just said. Those guys were out, really happy to just mingle with anybody that was out there, even running into some other veterans in the crowd that were spectators that day. And I know you have some experience in the military as well, so I know that probably meant something really special.
Yeah, especially reading their mission statement with the veterans. They're about the veterans to get like a place for therapy for motorsports. But we're going to see our Corvette versus Corvette battle. Andrew Grindle in the red Chevy Corvette coming in the lead with a nice flick, and Eric, the Fireball Noguera, coming in the chase and trying to get that proximity throughout that first out zone. And oh, mercy. Eric Noguera had to go extra wide to try to stay with that close proximity to that third outer zone. And Eric Noguera is getting that proximity all the way through. Oh, mercy. He breached that door and sent him to the Oh Mercy Clinic.
Instead of mercy, you almost said a medical profession, didn't you? You were about to.
Oh, man. No, I can't do that.
They were doing an awesome job making their way through the course, but it looked like Eric Noguera might have gone too far off track. That's going to be something for the judges to take a look at here. But looking at the replay footage, all four wheels were behind the second outer zone. So that's definitely going to be something for the judges to take into account. Did a great job applying pressure through the end of the run, but if it ends up being a 0 in the judges' eyes, then what he's going to need to do is just put a killer lead run down and hope that Andrew Grindle makes a mistake in the chase position.
Well, it gives an opportunity for Andrew Grindle to either do a not as aggressive chase for him. I wonder what the spotters are going to be talking to him about. I think they're going to tell him to kind of keep it easy, but keep the proximity. A lot of people that watch drifting, they are new to drifting. They don't really know what the exact team members. Can you explain a little bit about the spotters?
Yeah, so the spotters are there to try and help all of the drivers make the right strategic decisions on track. They can help the drivers see the things that they can't see, such as the mistake made there by Eric Noguera. Andrew Grindle was in the lead, so Andrew Grindle's spotter would be able to inform him coming across the line about what mistakes were made on the chase driver. And from there, some strategy can really unfold, because Andrew Grindle in this position, if that was a 0 by Eric Noguera, Andrew Grindle needs to secure himself a safe run that is a scoreable run that just wouldn't be a 0, so he can move on. So let's see what ends up happening here. We might see exactly that play of that. Eric Noguera up front, Andrew Grindle giving him a little bit of space. Let's see Eric Noguera throwing it in, getting that outside zone, looking to have lots of speed as he transitions in. Andrew Grindle taking a midline through here. And it's straightened from Andrew Grindle. Looked like he straightened all four tires there as he made his way across and then dropped the tire where that inside clip is. A little bit of a breakdown by both drivers as they then come across the line. And there you go. So the judges might be looking at a potential double goose egg there for both runs. And it's going to be up to them to see how they want to handle that. If they want to try and judge the run just lead for lead, or if they want to take into account that it may need to be a one more time. Looking at that right there, Andrew Grindle on the replay, looks like he's there. And then it just looks like for a moment comes to complete all four wheels straightening. And you can see the momentum of the car actually transition. You can kind of see the car rock back to the left after it does grip back up again, because these cars are set up a little bit loose to be grippier. So a little bit more obvious of a tell when that momentum is shifting from left to right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate from what we saw in the drone replay how Andrew Grindle straightened up, but going into seeing how Eric Noguera did a fantastic job filling out the zones, do you think possibly a choke up happened in the beginning from the first to the second zone, or is it just an unfortunate mistake from Andrew Grindle?
All right, so there we go. Sorry, we just got our answers there from the judges. So they're going to give that win to Andrew Grindle. They went ahead and they saw that both mistakes were 0s from both drivers, so they went on a lead for lead judging basis, and Andrew Grindle there just had the more dominant lead run. So there you go. That secures his spot. And anyone who wins these battles right now is securing their spot into the Great 8, because once again, today we're just doing a top 16, not a top 32.
All right, so it looks like we are having a buy run, and we're gonna have him do a buy run. His competitor is out, but I think John Temple is just gonna be driving through.
Yeah, that's
Crossing the
fine.
line?
It's all right to
Okay.
just take like a normal lap when you're doing these runs. So you really just need to make a pass as a courtesy. So John Temple right there waving over to the camera, guys. Everyone on the live stream can see him there with Slide United.
John Temple does an elegant wave going through.
I mean, right now he's just taking a cruise because his competitor, unfortunately, Daniel Oy, was trying to take a look at his vehicle, and it just sounded like somewhere he had a snake in his boot, and unfortunately that just prevented him from being able to make it to the line. So John Temple doing a great job. I mean, he's having a really great day today. He had an awesome qualifying run, and now having a buy run. He just got himself right into the Great 8. So if he can copy and paste the way he was driving and qualifying, he might make his way pretty far in this competition today.
Yeah, I was talking to his spotters earlier, and the one thing I noticed with his chase is at that inner clip, he needs to try to dive quickly into the pocket at outer zone 3. Because it seemed like, especially with his setup, it's struggling to keep that speed with the throttle down. So the spotters are talking to him about that, but he's been doing spectacular through outer zone 1 and 2 and just making a huge smoke show. But as you can tell by his sense of humor with that elegant wave going by, I might call him Lil Bo Beep. So. Seeing a lot more people coming out to the fences today after the qualifying and watching at the exit of outer zone 1 and watching that transition. We have a bunch of vendors out here. I see a bunch of cars getting ready for their battles. Ryan Acevedo going out there, lining up. I dressed up as Ryan Acevedo today after last event. So.
Yeah, it looks like everyone came to play. I mean, it is the final round. The positions in the championship are going to be pretty solidified for a couple people, but there's still the chance for the other areas on the podium to change just a little bit. So I was talking to Nick Ward earlier, and he actually has a go at trying to get both in third place and then also in second place today, depending on who does what. So here we go with Paolo in the Mustang. We've seen him out here doing a great job. This car has just gotten more rooted and more comfortable with him throughout the year. A little bit low on speed. I would have liked him to see him come in a little bit faster and doing a good job getting the outside zone. He's using that e-brake pull in. Oh, straight in right there. That looks like it's going to be seen pretty negatively in the judge's eyes, and he's making his way around the end there. So really the big problem there, it seems like he might have either misshifted or just came out of it, and then it kind of all started at the beginning. It didn't seem like he really found the rhythm coming into the course. It looked like when he got into the beginning of the run, he just didn't even have enough speed to begin with.
Yeah, it seems his car is really tight, to be honest, from when I'm seeing him coming out to from the initiation, from the one cone out to here. It doesn't seem like the back end wants to kind of carry the momentum. And then when you see him transitioning into the inner clip 1, I also see that front end is wanting to move, but it doesn't.
Yeah, it looks like, and you nailed it there, it looks like the back end doesn't want to swing all the way out unless he's completely committed. It seems the only way that he's going to swing all the way out wide is if he gets a little bit more aggressive and not afraid to jump over that rumble strip. But that's okay because that was ultimately just a buy. So he's moving on. It doesn't really matter. That's just for him to go ahead and complete his way through the course.
We got Willie Espinoza and Nick Ward out here. Willie Espinoza with that RX-7. Nick Ward with the borrowed car. Taxi Garage coming in with a nice flick. Going, way out in the deep end into the first outer zone. Riding it all the way around. Willie Espinoza needs to get that proximity, and he's diving in. He is struggling to keep up with Nick Ward. Nick Ward is slanging it out there into that final outer zone, and it looks like he's trying to keep that angle throughout that whole zone. Oh, mercy.
I think that exemplifies just how good of a driver Nick Ward is. I mean, clearly driving the Infinity that is, again, borrowed by Adam Ginkel, one of the judges with us here. That car is not as built as Willie Espinoza's car is. We saw a lot of twitchy driving by Willie Espinoza in the chase position. And meanwhile, Nick Ward adapted to that car. He seems very locked into the position in the lead. And he does a great job filling most of the zones, acting like that car has been his this entire time.
So I was told that Willie actually had a brand new motor put in his sprint. So I was actually going to talk about how Willie was in the chase. I felt like he wasn't committing and he wasn't as comfortable, especially from what I just was told that he's in a new motor. So kind of not as committed in the chase and not understanding probably fully on how he's going to commit all the way through. But Willie Espinoza, he needs to send it out here. It's going to be hard because this first run was a chase. Second run has a lead. He can't put pressure, so it's going to be a real struggle for him.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's had some issues. He had 2 fires earlier on, and that obviously is going to create some nerves for you. You don't want to have any problems, especially at this juncture. You're now at competition. You're hoping everything will go well, but if you already have that bad of a previous history going into this competition, you're going to be concerned about a couple things. So whatever he's got patched up on that engine right now, we don't know if it's a permanent or a temporary fix, but at least he's out at the line, and he's going to have to just adapt to this thing on the fly.
I was actually able to go to the pit where Willie was, and he was trying to work on his car, and it was just seemed he had a cool composure throughout the whole thing, just trying to like, all right, I got to get the job done so I can get back on the track. His second run, his second qualifying run, quote unquote, was his first complete run of the whole day. So not being able to run tandems or practice is going to be a struggle, especially if you're in a competition like this.
So now we're going to watch them change positions. Willie Espinoza is going to lead, and Nick Ward's going to give chase. And given that information, I'm not sure if Nick Ward is aware of Willie Espinoza's issues and how often he's been driving. Like you just said, he only got a few opportunities to get some laps in and only had that one complete lap under his belt. So hopefully Nick Ward's spotter is letting them know, not to be too aggressive. This is ultimately just a top 16, and also just as a reminder, not your car that you're driving. So take good care of it. Be in the chase position right now. I know Adam Ginkel's up here on the stands watching his baby get thrashed around. So let's see what's going to happen. Willie Espinoza in the lead. Nick Ward in the chase, making initiation. Both of them doing a good job getting out there. Willie Espinoza a little bit of bobbing, but he still gets out there into the outside. Watching them transition, we want to see all the momentum transfer. Both of them coming a little bit shallow. Nick Ward doing a good job following, and then Willie Espinoza goes on a little bit of an adventure offline. And here we see both of them getting on throttle. I don't think any zeros have happened just yet as they make their way across the line.
Wow. Well, Nick Ward is coming in hot and spicy, running in. When you're seeing him go through the second outer zone, Willie was trying to get that momentum, but he had to pretty much cut that line and go off track. But then he went extra wide on that inner clip, and Nick Ward was still on him, chasing him. It's amazing.
One thing to point out there is, and we heard the judges talk about this immediately when that run got finished, because of course we're up here sharing the space with them, so we can hear what their immediate things are they're pointing out. And we saw Nick Ward start to stray offline along with Willie Espinoza. But here's the thing in the chase position. It is your responsibility to chase the leader. So if the lead car goes offline and you chase them offline to gain that proximity, then you both aren't going to feel the full weight of going off track. The chase position is doing what their job is, and they're staying with that lead car. So I have to imagine that one might have gone to Nick Ward. Let's get the confirmation. And there we go. It's official. Nick Ward gets the win. Nick Ward is moving on to the grade 8.
Yeah, Nick was being a snake in Willie's boot on that one. Next, we have Ryan, the Space Ranger, or Space Cowboy, Acevedo, coming out here.
And if the next in the box, it looks like it might be Sasha Prospero. I'm not sure if it's Ryan Acevedo versus Sasha Prospero. We're about to see them enter the burnout box, get a better look at who's up next. Yeah, so it looks like next battle is going to be Ryan Acevedo versus Sasha Prospero. That should be an awesome battle to see.
Ryan Acevedo coming out here and slaying it with that Z. Very calm, collective individual as well. Was able to talk to him a little bit, but he's very a focused person until after the event.
Yeah, then of course we see him drop his guard a little bit. And actually, I got that wrong. So this next battle, it is going to be Ryan Acevedo versus Gabriel Jordan. So it's going to be a 350Z on 350Z battle. Gabriel Jordan and Ryan Acevedo. Of course, Ryan Acevedo seems to have the far more built car in this situation, but Gabriel Jordan is also not to be underestimated. Very comfortable in his car, a regular here to the Florida events. And he's got lots of miles on that exact car, which is making one change at a time, putting lots of track time on it, continuing to modify it and grow with the car. Here we go, Ryan Acevedo in the lead. A big gap in the initiation as Ryan Acevedo floats it into that outside zone, looking to get deep with lots of angle. Gabriel Jordan needing to try and play some catch up here as Ryan Acevedo dives in, and Gabriel Jordan looking like he way overshoots it. Not what you want to see if you want to try to play catch up. And Ryan Acevedo, meanwhile, staying completely composed as he makes his way across the line. And that's going to be a strong lead and probably a strong advantage for Ryan Acevedo in that tandem battle. I'm not sure what happened with Gabriel Jordan there. He kind of fell behind at the start.
Yeah, he was taking to the Applebee's on that one. But with Ryan Acevedo, yeah, we were talking about he does have a more horsepower in his Z compared to Jordan. But Jordan held his own for the amount of horsepower he has. The first time I came to the event in Sebring, I talked to him about that, and he's like, I just got to huck it, man. It's so hard to keep up sometimes with these guys with high horsepower. But we're going to see them flip-flop and get into the opposite positions. It will be Jordan in the lead, Ryan Acevedo in the chase. And I wonder how Acevedo is going to be approaching this second chase.
Okay, all right, we just got this now. So Gabriel Jordan have a little bit of an issue there. Gabriel Jordan is going to take a 5-minute competition time out to deal with a snake in his boot. He's going to need to go charge his battery and try to get back out for competition. And, you know, Ryan Acevedo is going to sit there at the line. I know they're both.
We got someone on the side of the track. Oh, that is so funny. Gabriel Jordan just literally drove up to another car to get his battery charged. That's hilarious.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, if you need to get it done, that's one way to do it. Gabriel Jordan was ready to use his 5-minute timeout. He just yoinked on over to a car that already had its hood popped and getting the jumper cables out right there behind the hot box.
Speaking of hot box, these costumes are kind of hot.
By the way, this competition is brought to you by Noel Garcia's Back. If you've seen it on the live stream, make sure that you give a shout out. It's going to be making regular appearances throughout the day.
Now we see Sasha and Luis Lanz out here warming up the tires. And Luis Lanz was able to zip up my my outfit a little bit.
And now I think we need to change the tone of the conversation because this is about to be a very intense and heavy-weighted moment for Luis Lanz. Luis Lanz, not in his regular competition vehicle he's been here in. Everything is going to hang in the balance of this run, folks. This will determine your 2023 Formula Drift Pro-Am champion. So Luis Lanz, and I need to explain this so everyone understands this, if he can leave the line, he will officially be your 2023 champion. But he has to leave the line successfully. So we're going to need a moment of silence as he comes up to the line here. Everything has seemed to be okay with his car, but you never know what could happen. It made it to the starting line on its own power. And he's against Sasha Prospero here. So right now, Sasha Prospero is going to be intimidating him. I know my co-announcer here is also going to, as they say, go off. King, if we see this happen here tonight. We're waiting for the okay. Luis Lanz at the line. If he just moves his car from this point, under the car's own power, it will be official. And he will have a chance to compete in the next step towards FD in Pro 2. I know right now his heart must be racing. The adrenaline is pumping.
It would be terrible if his car stalls right off the line.
I think if his car stalls, but like the clutch bumps him up a little bit, like he just kind of like at least has it in gear, and the engine just spins up and like comes to bump forward about an inch.
Yeah, it just boops him over the line.
I think that'll, yeah. Like,
he needs a boop.
Technically, if he just puts it in first and he starts it and uses the starter motor to inch the car forward, that also counts.
We have a track crew working on the cone on third outer zone.
Oh, that's why we're waiting. I didn't even know. I thought everyone over there was just getting in the moment too. Okay. All right, we're working on the track right now. I got it.
Yeah.
All right, and now the safety crew is making their way off of the track. So the track should be ready. Luis Lanz in a moment. Will he do it? There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Luis Lanz has left the line, and that makes him your unofficial 2023 Formula Drift US Drift Circuit champion. As he goes here against Sasha Prospero now, going to that outer zone, doing a great job transitioning. Luis Lanz diving in. Looking to see a clean run for them here as Sasha Prospero transitions, getting into that outer zone. Luis Lanz giving him a little bit of space and playing it safe, and then doing a good job just kind of inching closer in the safer part of the portion across this last sweeper, and that looks like unofficially Luis Lanz right there secures his spot in first place for the championship.
Congratulations to Luis Lanz. Now getting his license to go to FD. He is now going to be in the lead, but give a wave over there to Luis Lanz. Luis Lanz is getting ready to get in the zone. I talked to him in the pit, and I'm like, hey, just because you have to cross the line doesn't mean you're going to waver on this this battle. I want you to full send it. Give me a show out here. And he was like, yeah, I'm definitely down for that. So Luis Lanz is out here, always here to compete and have a good time.
So now right now it'll be a really nice satisfaction if Luis Lanz can move on, because I know right now that's not just going to be enough for someone like him. He wants to come out, he wants to win the championship, and he's also going to want to win the round. So he's not going to give up and stop driving and pushing himself to the limit. He's going to give it everything he's got all the way till the end.
Now we see Luis lining up in the lead. Sasha Prospero in the chase. Sasha Prospero did a fantastic job filling out all the zones. But Luis did shallow up on third outer zone to try to get that proximity. But we'll see how Sasha Prospero is going to come in that Apex Automotive S chassis. Luis Lanz coming in that orange Chevy Corvette. Let's see how he performs out here. Luis Lanz, here he comes in the lead. Sasha Prospero's coming in the chase. Here we go. Luis Lanz coming in with a huge initiation, and he looks like he tire dropped on that first outer zone. That's going to be a big no-no. Going into the second outer zone, Sasha Prospero used some left foot braking to try to gain that proximity going into that third outer zone. And oh, mercy, Sasha Prospero is trying to get in that door all the way through, but Luis is going out here and putting out a victory lap.
And that one there looks like it's going to be left in the judges' hands to decipher that. We have 2 judgeable runs back-to-back when we saw mistakes by both drivers. So curious to know what the judges are going to deliberate at this time. Once again, thank you so much for all of our sponsors that are here. Link, ECU, Golden Grown, Shift Culture, OMP Racing, BC Racing, Claim Defenders, Dustin Motors as well. We got Dustin up here in the booth hanging out with us. All right, catch you later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Sasha Prospero moves on with the win. Sasha Prospero moving on to the Grade 8.
Yeah, Luis Lanz out here. It is the champion, but someone is going to be the king for today. But Sasha Prospero did prove his own. Luis Lanz tire dropping on that first outer zone, but hey, he's not putting his head down because he is going to FD as you see him out here being rowdy. Love the character and culture he provides to the drifting. Fantastic human. I am happy to see him move on to bigger and better things, but it's sad to see him.
And right there, doing a little bit of a victory lap there. So Luis Lanz doing an awesome job all year long. He definitely is well deserving of that license. And I know all these other drivers, they're all friends. You know, each of them, when they find out the other one won, you know, you could say that they would say, like, you got a friend in me. You know, like they know that they're always rooting for each other to win. And honestly, every time one of these drivers moves on, the drivers that are left behind, it's just a higher probability that it's going to be their chance. If you just narrowly got beat by Luis Lanz, then this might be your chance to come back next season and hopefully be that person to walk away with a license. So very excited to see that, but we still have a whole rest of our evening here of action today. And I know all the drivers are doing a great job. And we got some people right here.
Oh, there. It's hot in this suit, man. I'm taking it off shortly. But I have clothes underneath, don't worry. But but Luis Lanz out here, like we were saying before, you see this pit getting excited, cheering. I'm so happy for them. The family kind of culture that he has around this pit crew. The way he brings his kids out here. He's very well-rounded person as a drifter, and I'm excited to see what he does in FD in the future. But
and the hat is gone.
Oh man, and it's on top of the roof. We got a wild hat on the loose, and it dropped down.
There it goes.
Hi. Man, oh man. All right,
No,
so
I'm
you're
honestly glad it's gone. It was a fight to keep it on my head.
I'm sweating. I think I might take this hat off. But Ryan Acevedo's out here in the chase. Jordan's going to be in the lead. Jordan had that 5-minute timeout. Let's see how he performs out here with that fresh charged battery. Ryan Acevedo. Ryan, the Space Cowboy Acevedo. I love saying his last name. But anyway, we're going to see him come out here. We saw him on last round in the finals versus Luis Lanz, where he took flight. That's where he got his nickname, Space Cowboy. Going into this, we're seeing the guys at the start line, giving them the go-ahead shortly. But we also got some people in the track, cone down. I see a bunch of hugs going around in Luis Lanz pit. Some camera crew out there. The kids running around. Going through that whole experience, knowing you're getting a pro spec license must be insane just to even think about that. But we're hearing that the judges are ready. Track crew is cleared.
Here we go. Gabriel Jordan attempting to leave the line. And I say attempting because he is moving pretty slow. It looks like maybe we have a reset. Or maybe we got a dead car.
Oh,
We know he's been having trouble almost every round.
This might turn out to be a buy run for Ryan Acevedo. Gabriel Jordan's Z is limping off the track over there.
Yeah, so if there's going to be a problem there with Gabriel Jordan's car, that means it's likely going to have to be a buy run for Ryan Acevedo. We're just waiting for them to pull up to the line. And meanwhile, we can see over there in the pits, Luis Lanz and his group. They've been celebrating this entire time since he got out of the car. We got everybody over there congratulating him, and rightfully so. And I also see a bunch of the bright neon vests over there congratulating him. Guys, you got to give it up for the media that comes out here.
Oh,
All these guys that come to these events. I mean, we owe some awesome and spectacular moments to being captured by the media this year, including, but not not excluded to, the giant fireball moment from Eric Nogueira.
Yeah.
That made headlines. Without the media that was here, we wouldn't have captured that.
Yeah, especially I was worried about one person still having their eyebrows after that. Here we go. Ryan Acevedo doing his buy run. Coming in with a nice little flick. He just needs to complete this run. And then he's going to be moving on to the grade 8. And that Z is sounding as rowdy as ever, going through each and every zone. Ryan Acevedo moving on in this bracket.
We are making our way through here. I believe we are almost halfway through our top 16. Next, pulling up to the line, looks like it is going to be Alex Puig versus Brandon Cox in that Corvette. He's been keeping it clean all season, doing a great job, driving really consistently. And we also saw Alex Puig out here doing a great job also with that father-son team. We talked about them earlier today, and he's been getting more consistent. I think we might be in for a pretty competitive battle.
All right, we got Flydays out here, always doing the events, and he is handling this wind fantastic with that drone. I've seen him do some landings, but now we're going to have him out here to watch this run. Andrew Grindle in the lead. Alex Big in the chase. Andrew Grindle coming in with nice aggressive angle. Alex Big coming. Oh, no. A little wide and missing the inner clip. Puig is coming in and trying to keep that proximity and in the chase and going all the way through with nice follow throughout that whole run. Andrew Grindle punted that cone. Sent it to Narnia.
He looked like he was on track, and then overshooting there definitely looked like it took him off base. I think that was all she wrote for it as soon as he got to that point.
Oh, no. There's just a lot of champagne going on. Luis Lanz is running from his life over there in the pits. But we're going to have Puig with the Pandemonium livery coming out. And that's All right, we got Brandon Cox out here. Excuse me for saying Andrew Grindle. Brandon Cox is out here. So many Chevy Corvettes, so similar colors. There we go.
And both drivers are going back to the driving line or starting line. Now we have Alex Puig in the lead position. Brandon Cox is going to be in the chase position. And we're just waiting for a moment while the judges are just deliberating that previous run, making sure they make their notes in. And here we go. Alex Puig in the lead, Brandon Cox in the chase, doing a good job floating it out. A little bit of a bobble as he makes his way out to that outer zone.
Nice.
Brandon Cox doing a great job on proximity, looking to dive in here. If he can just capitalize it in this inner clip and then stay stuck to him, he's going to be able to stay there throughout the rest of this outside sweeper.
Oh.
And there we go, a clean run for both drivers. Some minor mistakes there. We see Alex Puig take out that outer clip across the line, so we'll have to look at the drone footage to see if there's no tire drops there.
Well, Brandon Cox was down there the whole time. It looks like a little bit of loss of proximity in that third outer zone, but he was sticking it to him, being the shadow throughout the whole track. Judges are deliberating on both of their runs and nitpicking on both lead and chase.
Meanwhile, we see Alex Puig is the only one that got the memo besides us on the Halloween thing. I think you and I, we were a little bit disappointed today because we understood the assignment.
Peer pressure is a thing, you know.
And then Alex Puig there rocking with a skeleton in his passenger seat. It's hard to see on the stream if you guys haven't had a moment, but he's got a passenger today. He's rocking with a skeleton. Chris Jackson saw that, and he made an exception to the passenger rule as the skeleton is already dead and can't sue us for dying on the track. So very convenient from a law standpoint. And I got to say during this, too, I love the design of Alex Puig's livery and all that with the panda.
And we got word from the judges. Alex Puig gets the win and moves on. Alex Puig with his passenger moves on to the further in the bracket. Now we're in the top grade 8. Seeing how these guys perform. Yeah, like you were saying before, peer pressure. Well, what I was saying before, peer pressure is a thing, man. I'm sweating.
You weren't pressured. This was your idea.
I don't think it was my idea, man.
I think it was your idea. This feels like I feel like people who know me and know you would assume that this was all your idea.
I feel if people who know me know I'm pleasantly plump and I wouldn't want to be in a costume like this. But we got a lot of good laughs. I think some guys, some of the media guys took photos of us. Chris Jackson giggled at us as well, so it's very itchy on the beard. Trying to figure out where your hat went.
It's still down there. Staying put. I need to get that hat back. It is a whole $30 costume.
Yeah. All right, we got the drone in the air. Who do we have next, Alec?
Looks like it is going to be Andrew Grindle versus Stephen Tassinaro making his way in. Stephen Tassinaro in the leads, floating out. Andrew Grindle going on a tour around the world, leaving the track and going off property. As Andrew Grindle tries to dive in Stephen Tassinaro not faced in the lead position. He's doing a great job making his way on that last outer zone, keeping it smooth and composed. He makes his way across the line. So a great run there, but unfortunately, Andrew Grindle taking flight and going on an exhibition to another world on that first corner.
And, man, Andrew Grindle, I know we said Andrew Grindle was running before battle. We got it mixed up, like I was saying before, but Andrew Grindle came out hot going into that first outer zone, trying to keep the chase and keep that proximity, but he ended up trying to make that cone his passenger, but going throughout the whole battle, that's a huge factor for him in the chase. But we're going to have him in the lead, but Steven is going to have a more calm and composed chase, I'm assuming, especially after that big mistake.
Yeah, there we go. So unfortunately, I mean, Andrew Grindle usually does a great job keeping it on track. Unfortunately, we saw him go to a different zip code, a different country, needing to renew his passport, make sure he made it through TSA, take off his shoes, and walk through the machine, because he unfortunately just went way off of the line and way off track.
Yeah, it's actually it's not common for Andrew Grindle to go through that kind of stuff, but we're seeing them come out here. Andrew Grindle is now in the chase, and Steven's going to be in, Andrew Grindle is now in the lead. Steven is in the chase.
And right now, it looks like the advantage would definitely be going towards Stephen Tassinaro after that lead run, doing a great job. Andrew Grindle right now is going to need to really clean it up and hope that Stephen Tassinaro is going to make a mistake in the chase position. Right now, Andrew Grindle doing a great job getting the outside zone, keeping it right there within the lines, and doing a great job filling out that outer zone. He moves away into the second area. He's keeping it outside. Not even a single tire drop. He makes his way to that inner zone, but Stephen Tassinaro is right there with Steven's car making a good amount of grip compared to last season. He's not giving him an inch. You see them making contact right there. Oh, pediatric specialist. Oh, my goodness, he's doing an awesome job.
Oh, my goodness.
He is right there, door to door at the end. Stephen Tassinaro knows this is the last round of the season. Had no problem making contact, and there's definitely an exchange of rubber and tires and paint all over Grindle's car. So I have to imagine the judges are likely going to give that one to Stephen Tassinaro, in my opinion. What do you think?
I'm looking more towards Steven, especially with Andrew Grindle going off track, but let's see what the judges say.
At least that's what we think. We won't make any strict calls. After all, what are we? We're just, Buzz Lightyear and Woodies,
It looks like Stephen Tassinaro continues on. Well done from both drivers. Yeah, Luis Lanz zipped me up. I can't even move.
Oh, he was able to get the zipper?
Oh, he got it all the way up, dude, man.
You are Buzz Lightyear Star Command. You got everything is all nice, and I'm blown. This worked out great for you. You can reuse this.
The mask right here, this purple thing, made my beard so itchy. But I was gonna come as DJ Khaled, but and it looks like Temple.
Right now, we got John Temple up at the line, and John Temple is going to be going against Paulo Mota. So that's right. John Temple in the lead position, and Paulo in the Mustang in the chase.
Temple is in the top 8 right now. First time I've seen him in the top 8 from what I remember. So we'll see how he performs out here. I am very curious how he's going to perform out here in the chase, especially with that S chassis.
Yeah, we've talked to John Temple, and his outlook on the championship is very great. He's got the right attitude coming into it. He's going to get his own win this year. If he could just get a result, he'll be happy with in one of these rounds. We see him float to this outside zone right now as Paulo is in the chase. Right now doing a transition, looking at the outside zone, doing a great job. John Temple, as Paulo's making mistakes in the chase position, a little bit off of that inside clip as they get into that outside sweeper, throttling down. And we know John Temple is going to be happy with that run. And there we go, a clean run from John Temple, and Paulo doing the best he can in the chase.
John the Captain Temple out here slaying it. I'm so happy for him. He did a nice wave and was excited for performing out here. But John Temple is now going to be in the chase. I know there's a couple people out there on the stream that have had a conversation with John Temple, love the guy's character, and are rooting for him, rooting to see a good run from him. But let's see how he performs in the chase. Let's see how aggressive he gets. Did a great lead. And Paulo is going to be in the lead now.
That's right, Paulo.
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 Paulo. Paulo or Paulo?
Fun name.
Yeah.
I like it. Paulo.
Paulo. Here we go. Paulo in the lead. John Temple in the chase. Here we go. S Chassis versus Ford Mustang. Here comes John Temple in the chase. Slinging it in there. Trying to keep that proximity. Oh, Paulo goes wide and spins out. John Temple just has to finish this out. And oh, mercy. John Temple is moving on from what we're seeing because Paulo definitely spun out and zeroed the lead run. John Temple must be excited and ecstatic right now because he's going to the top
Phenomenal job by Temple. I mean, he definitely deserves it if he moves on from that. I have to imagine he's got the advantage. Paulo doing a good job in the lead, but then unfortunately it looked like he just hit the heavy sheets button and hit start on the spin cycle and ended up going into a spin there. So I guess we're just waiting for the official answer from the judges. We know there with Temple being with Slide United, we know Rich DeBarden is back there, is helping him out. He's also been a long-time person in this community. We know that team, very loving with each other, is very loving with the community. They are, I know at least one of them has got to be in his headset and let him know this looks pretty good on his end. And it looks like John Temple is moving on. John the Captain Temple. I got to come up with a nickname better than that because he's very welcoming for everybody that comes into his pit. Yeah, I mean, I'm about to convert religions because I'm not trying to go to anywhere else besides the John Temple. This is the place where you want to be in this competition on this last round 4 of US Drift Circuit Formula Drift Pro-Am. All right, now it looks like going into this next Grade 8 battle, we've got another overbuilt titan of a car needing to be taken on by the other Nick Ward from Taxi Garage, who was renting, again, Adam Ginkle's car that we've seen him compete with last season in US Drift Circuit. He's done a couple quick modifications just to make sure it's running really reliably. They had just a little short issue with it this morning. All it was a little valve or something, I believe. Something that was a really quick fix. And now they're back out here on track, but we know his competitor's not having any trouble. Last run, he had to go against Willie Espinoza, and he was having some car trouble, whereas Ryan Acevedo having 0 issues at all coming up to the line today. So here we go once again. Nick Ward, who did not borrow but rented the vehicle from Adam Ginkle. And that's because he's going to be busy, and these Taxi Garage guys have turned their passion into something great. They're going to be at SEMA. They're going to be at the Hoonigan Barnyard. And here we go in the lead position right now. Nick Ward initiating. Seeing a little bit light flick as he goes onto that outer zone. Clutch kicking it in, getting a full lock. But we know Ryan Acevedo's right there, giving him no space, transitioning super close. He's looking to dive in. He knows that Nick Ward is consistent, so we can feel confident, putting some pressure on him. And right now I see him getting a lot of proximity as I know Adam Ginkle's up here, making sure the paint is going to stay pretty, begging Ryan Acevedo not to leave a mark. And it looks like he gets close without causing any issues. And as we're up here, Adam Ginkle's taking a big sigh of relief that there's not going to be any missing pieces of that car.
Man, Acevedo coming out here and gaining the proximity in that first outer zone. And then transition and trying to touch that door. But it looks like there's some wavering from Acevedo in the chase. But he is mimicking everything throughout the final outer zone. It was insane to watch. Great battle from these guys.
We were having this conversation too. I was talking to Adam about renting his car out to someone. In my case, I'd be so worried about who I would lend my car to.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people that enter Pro-Am that are still working some things out even on their own car. To be adaptable enough to jump into someone else's vehicle and be so easily melded by it and be able to know where you're going to place it everywhere on track. And here we see Nick Ward. He's putting in every zone he needs to put it in. He's filling out every single zone exactly as he has to. And it's in a car that he's never even driven before.
Yeah, I was talking to the pit crew a little bit, and they're just trying to make it look better, especially with Nick Ward driving compared to Adam. They were like, I'm going to make this car look better than him. So we have them switch sides. Acevedo in the lead. Nick Ward in the chase. Acevedo coming in with a nice flick. Nick Ward overshoots a little bit on that final outer zone. First outer zone going into the transition. Nick Ward is struggling on the chase, going wide. And oh no, as Acevedo continues on, this looks like a clear-cut case over here, man.
Yeah, right there. Unfortunately, it looked like, as we were just talking about, that Nick Ward coming a little bit unhinged as he comes around that first outside zone. We saw him come super wide, and we talked about those rumble strips earlier today, how there's some big consequences if you get up onto him. And it looked like he just ended up being super wide, and then he had to just try and change the rhythm of that car in the middle of the run. And then another mistake happening on that inside zone. It just made catch-up a large task. So we're waiting for the judges to take a look at it. I mean, Nick Ward had an amazing lead run, but the real question is going to be, is that enough? Because Ryan Acevedo had some pretty decent runs back-to-back, and that was a lot of mistakes in the chase position for Nick. I mean, Tiny, while we're out here watching, you've watched all these drivers. I mean, in your opinion, which one of these drivers do you think is taking things to infinity and beyond?
Well, Ryan Acevedo is coming out here doing a good job with that Z. There's a lot of potential as drivers in the whole U.S. drift circuit, and it's hard to even like pick one because they all have their different styles. But Ryan Acevedo is one of the guys that when I see him in the future, I'm excited to see what he does next year. Nick Ward as well. Eric Noguera. Even John Temple. John Temple was talking about he's going to be putting a new motor for next year to get more horsepower. And you see how he's doing right now with lower horsepower and he's just running nitrous. Like, these guys have a great plethora of experience now in the competition scene and seeing what's going to happen in the future. And even there's going to be new drivers next year too. So it's from what I'm seeing right now, Acevedo is doing a fantastic job, and Nick Ward, I see him moving on into bigger and better things possibly in the future.
Well, a lot of these drivers, they have their own victories they're looking for as they compete out here in the series. So some of them aren't necessarily looking for the podium. Well, that would be nice. They're just trying to be able to get out here, keep the car together, get more used to driving under pressure and driving under this format, because it's very different than doing a fun day.
All right, it looks like Ryan Acevedo moves on. Ryan Acevedo is doing good things. Nick Ward is going to be pitting. Now it looks like Sasha Prospero and Alex Pugh up. Those are other competitors as well that I see. Stephen Tassinaro is another competitor I like watching as well. As everybody has their own kind of culture in each pit. You go to each pit, there's different cultures. So it's, like I was saying earlier, it's hard to pick just one.
Yep, absolutely. And we are moving through things pretty quickly here. We're already in our grade 8. We're moving through. Grade 8 only consists of 4 battles.
Here we go. Sasha Prospero in the lead. Now Apex Automotive. S Chassis coming in. Rice and aggressive. Alex Pugh with Pandemonium coming in and trying to get that chase. Alex is trying to keep up that proximity, but is struggling a little bit from the inner clip, going to that final outer zone. Sasha Prospero filling out each zone with extreme angle. Wow. Alex out here trying to fight through him, and we saw Luis Lanz get knocked out earlier out, but it doesn't matter for him because he has a pro spec license. I was hyping up the event, saying who's going to be the king of this event and who's going to knock out the king, and we're seeing this little by little drama unfolded, especially with this kind of event. Especially at the final event, when you know, all right, that guy's won. All right, let's see who has the momentum going on to the next season.
The interesting thing about the battle we saw between Ryan Acevedo and Nick Ward is I do believe for Nick Ward to secure second place, he would have needed to actually knock out Ryan Acevedo right then and there on the spot. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that had happened there, and then he would have moved on. So it'll be interesting. Nick Ward got knocked out, but I'm curious to know what the points are going to lead to.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness!
Wow, that was very unexpected to see. That is going to be very
fortunate to see that both drivers going completely off track there. I think Alex Pugh was just looking to leave nothing in the tank. He wanted to come full stop, wanted to give it everything he had, and then unfortunately I think he just swung it out way too wide, and by the time he noticed he was going off, there just wasn't time to do anything about it.
Yeah, we're looking at the replays as well with that, and Alex Puig definitely just full sensitive, a little sensitive too hard there, going through that first outer zone. Sasha was just trying to keep that proximity and stay with it, following the lead car, but it was 4 tires off. And it's looking like Sasha Prospero moving on.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into our final 4. We are knocking through this competition bracket quickly. Again, we are now officially going to be in our final 4. These next 2 battles are going to determine who is going against each other in the finals and who is walking home. No, I'm just kidding. It'll just determine who goes to the 3rd place battle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. We got our final 4 going in. Ryan Acevedo is going to be in there. Sasha Prospero, John Temple. John Temple is probably getting some nerves now, but we'll see how exciting he's going to be today. I'm excited to see him perform. And Stephen Tassinaro is going to be in the. This is a wild Final 4, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. There's a lot on stake for all of these drivers. I mean, it's not Squid Games, but at the same time, it is going to set the tone for what's going to happen next season.
Yeah, definitely is. I'm just coming from what I've seen throughout the whole season. The only person I've seen in the Final 4, correct me if I'm wrong, is Acevedo.
We have a little bit of time while the drivers are getting ready to go. Oh, no, it looks like we see John Temple right there making his way up. So I do believe it's going to be, it looks like possibly John Temple versus Stephen Tassinaro in the Final 4. First battle. Stephen Tassinaro has been doing a great job all season, but John Temple, out of nowhere, pulling a John Cena and doing a great job in the competition today. He's done a great job in qualifying. He had a bye run, but we know that he's also he's doing great. He's not being shaken. He's not being stirred. He's getting up. He's doing what he has to do.
So many references in 1 minute. No. He went from Randy Orton to John Cena to James Bond. My mind is like cross-eyed right now. So I was actually confusing the judges a little bit earlier, doing my preemptive before I get in the booth, before I get in the mic, how I practice, and we had one of the judges trying to guess the bands, and it was pretty funny. But we have John Temple out here. Let's see how he performs. He's going to be in the chase. And Stephen is going to be in the lead.
Once again, Stephen Tassinaro pulling up to that Shift Culture tent. And we also have the other one, Golden Grown. And once again, thank you so much to our sponsor, Shift Culture and Golden Grown over there, hosting the starting tents, have been with us for the last 2 seasons. We're very excited to have them on board with us, happy to have them with us next year, and all the sponsors that have been with us. At the same time, also is Kenda Tires, Link ECU, OMP Racing, Flyday Drones, Claim Defenders, Public Adjusting Services. I mean, we've got everybody out here.
Yep. Man. And this is the battle. The winner moves on to the battle of first and second place. The loser moves on to the battle for third place. Who's going to move on to be the king of this final round? Stephen Tassinaro coming in with a big Scandinavian flick into that first outer zone. John Temple is coming in spicy, trying to get that proximity right off the rip in that first outer zone. Stephen Tassinaro coming in the second outer zone, filling it out. John Temple is sticking it to him. Here's the transition. Oh no, John Temple had to shallow up and get that proximity, and he's losing it in the final outer zone, but he's fighting it through. Wow.
That was an awesome job. I don't care about how the outcome of this goes for either of these guys. These two both deserve to be excited about that run. I mean, Stephen Tassinaro putting down an absolute slayer of a lead run again, and John Temple showing that he means business, he wants to keep up. In the end, making some mistakes and having to play catch up, but up until that point, doing an absolute awesome job, showing full commitment and aggression, trying to get after it.
I love it. I love seeing that, especially from two competitors like that, both in S chassis. And Stephen Tassinaro is out here. He has family out here. He's trying to make them proud, but I'm pretty sure they're just proud to see him just compete in this kind of caliber of a competition. But we're going to have them flip sides. Stephen Tassinaro is going to be in the chase. John Temple is going to be in the lead. John Temple is with that white, black, and orange S chassis. Stephen Tassinaro is in the all black S chassis. We're waiting for the lights and waiting for the track to clear up as we had a golf cart on third outer zone. Here they go.
And there we go. The track is looking clean. Everyone is out. Everyone is safe. Just waiting for the go-ahead.
Here we go. John Temple in the lead. Coming in with a nice flick. Getting back on throttle pretty quick to try to fill out the outer zone. Punts that first outer zone a little bit shallow, possibly missing and being too spicy and overshooting that inner clip. John Temple is trying to fight it through. Stephen Tassinaro is sticking it to him and staying in his pocket all the way through the track.
That one's looking really close, guys. That one's looking really close. I mean, John Temple was doing a great job in lead position. He had a little bit of a late transition trying to get to the second outer zone, and then we saw he also went a little bit too wide on the inner clip. But Stephen Tassinaro was adapting to every mistake also. I mean, when John Temple made a move, he made a move, but we saw John Temple go too deep past the inner clip. Stephen Tassinaro was right there following him all the way through the rest of the competition, or the rest of the layout, with close proximity, especially coming across the line.
And it's looking like Stephen gets the win. John Temple is going to the battle of third place. It doesn't stop him from getting on the podium, but Stephen Tassinaro is going to the battle for first and second place to say hey, I have a chance to be the king.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. Each one of these drivers has a chance to land themselves a spot on the podium. Stephen Tassinaro is going to get at least first or second place after this. But John Temple, he's going to be the one that has to be ready to go to war too, because this is going to be his chance to get the third place position, get his first podium this season. And we know that he's no one that is a non-familiar to war. He's not familiar to battle. He's a veteran of the United States military. So we're excited to see him get ready for combat and come back out here and hopefully get himself one of them shiny little trophies.
Yeah, buddy. John Temple out there, it's locked and loaded. We call it Redcon 1, Ready Condition 1. Right here, this is when you have to be there. I talked to him earlier, and he's just like, he's excited to be here. I saw him clapping to Steven, saying, hey, good job. Great sportsmanship, but he is locked in right now. Maybe he's listening to Taylor Swift before he goes on the next battle.
What's the chance? Is it Oorah? Is that what it is? What'd you say?
No, Hua.
Hula. Right.
That's what the army. The Oorah is the Marines.
Oh, okay.
But they like to make a joke about that. But I'm excited to see that battle go on. But we have Sasha Prospero in the lead now, and Ryan Acevedo in the chase. Here we go.
Here we go in our next battle of the Final Four. We have Sasha Prospero versus Ryan Acevedo coming into this outside zone. Sasha Prospero at full lock. Ryan Acevedo playing a little bit of catch up. He's already close on gap as we come into that second outside zone. They're both looking to dive in close proximity. Ryan Acevedo bodying the side of Sasha Prospero's cars to make it to that outside zone. Carrying out that sweeper. They're looking to get really close. Prospero doing a good job just trying to make him fight for it as they get across the line.
Man. Ryan Acevedo just straight dive bombing from outer zone 2 to inner clip and just sticking it to him through the pocket. Transition was money to outer zone 3. Oh, man.
I mean, Ryan Acevedo is out here and Sasha Prospero is out here today, but they are both trying to be fierce. But what's awesome is that these guys are both so calm, cool, and collected behind the wheel. And if you want to be calm, cool, and collected as well, just remember that one of our main sponsors of this event is by Golden Grown. They've got CBD and all of your other needs. There's been a lot that's come to the forefront of what this stuff can do for you medically, and it also helps you keep your cool. So coming around this Thanksgiving season, if you want to be able to deal with your family members around that dinner table, hit up Golden Grown for all of their products. You ever like sit and realize like you're having a hard time like computing something? Like as we get older, it's a little bit harder to like just like figure out what you're thinking and like computate.
I think it's the costumes, bro.
I just noticed that as I get older, I have a little bit hard time computing, and now I have a big value for computing, and that's why computers and the one you can count on is so important, and that's why I trust Link ECU with all of my ECU needs. If you want to have a computer you can trust, thank you to our sponsor, Link ECU. And here we go, Ryan Acevedo in the lead, Sasha Prospero in the chase, making their way to that outside zone. Ryan Acevedo like a rocket ship making his way through that transition. Prospero's going to have to flick it in deep if he wants to get close, and Ryan Acevedo diving in, touching and going, and once he rotates his car, I know he's going to be off, so Prospero's going to need to reel him in, and right there, close proximity, door-to-door action. That is going to be a close one. That is a great battle, both lead and chase by both drivers. It's going to be in the judges' hands.
Doors. That's all I got to say on that last outer zone. Sasha coming in was kind of smoked out on the first outer zone, but he was able to keep it in there in transition. It looked like Ryan Acevedo also tire drop going into that inner clip. The judges are going to really be nitpicky on this battle to see who had the most mistakes, who had the cleaner lead, who had the cleaner chase. I wouldn't want to be in their position.
Yeah, and I mean, as the drivers deliberate this, what is great about these drivers is that, you know, it's not just handwork on the steering wheel, but it's also the mental fortitude to make your way through this track. And that's why protecting your head and your hands is so important. And we're proud to talk about our sponsor, OMP Racing, who's creating the greatest safety equipment you can get there for your vehicles and for your driving needs. So if you want to protect both the things that are most important to you, along with some other products, hit up OMP Racing for all of your safety needs.
Man, I feel like I got nothing on that because I don't know where you're going with it, but then eventually I figure it out afterwards.
I trick you into it. I'm tricking you into the pitch.
Yeah, yeah, you are because I'm invested in what you're about to say, but then it turns into a commercial, which touche.
I understand.
I appreciate that.
I understand. Things that are unpredictable can be pretty inconvenient, right? Am I an inconvenience being unpredictable?
No, I love the unpredictability, and it looks like it's gonna be a one more time. Ryan Acevedo and Sasha. We're gonna have them change tires, get back on the track.
I think the unpredictability is fun, but you know where unpredictability is not fun? Is in the quality of your tires. If you want to have a predictable, consistent feel in your tires, look to Kenda Tires. One of our sponsors have been helping us out for US Drift Circuit. They make a great product. They've been helping out a lot of our drivers, have great driver programs. We're happy to have them with this season, and we're hoping to see them again next year.
So, I thought you said a tire, but I realized what you were talking about, and Kenda Tires. Jeez. But been enjoying this weather out here today. The only thing is a little uncomfortable is the heat a little bit, but the sun beating down on us. We're usually here till sunset, but the sun wasn't too bad today, especially with the shade.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is great conditions for the cars because it's nice to sunlight out. It's warm. I hate being cold. I hate having to work on anything in the cold. If you ever hit your hand on something in the engine bay and you do it when it's freezing, you feel your knuckles like shatter against stuff. So so it's nice because it's always, I prefer warm over cold at all times. But it's also not so hot that the track is too slick and that you're sliding around. Because sliding around like that is not fun. The only time it's fun to be sliding around and not have the grip you need is on one of Taxi Garage's crazy carts, which is also one of our sponsors with us here at US Drift Circuit. When you want to have fun sliding around and not have to worry about the tires or the conditions, rain or shine, hot or cold, Taxi Garage's carts are a ton of fun. So you can hit up their tent or hit up their website or even their social media. Bunch of cool guys and happy to have them with us.
I thought I knew where you're going with that, but you threw it. You clutch kicked it into a different thing, man. I thought you were going to OMP. Or something else, but you hit me with the Taxi Garage, man. Golly. Man. I do enjoy it. This season has been amazing. I appreciate you taking me out here. It's been a wild ride coming from virtual to actually doing this actual IRL events out here in Florida. I appreciate all of you that put me on board, and that's one thing I do want to say. And I'm excited to see who moves on over here with momentum for next season, and I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I mean, we're happy to have you. This has been a really fun experience for us, too, because we found you on video games, video juegos, and now you're over here having fun. And I know do you already speak Spanish? I don't even, because I'm horrible with Spanish, so I apologize. But I mean, it's been a phenomenal experience.
Yeah.
And the thing that's nice is that this is an easy thing to get. I mean,
yeah.
You got it on the video game side, you got it here in person, and the concept of the drifting is just so much fun, and it's so easy as a spectator to enjoy yourself. A lot of other motorsports, it's a little bit tougher to really appreciate the discipline, and this is just high octane, high fueled, excitement from beginning to end.
Yeah, I do know some Spanish words. I am Puerto Rican, but at times I use my announcer voice to do the Telemundo kind of stuff. Yeah, but that the only thing I could do as an announcer voice is "Hola, y cómo estás en Telemundo," but that's it.
So we're gonna have a Spanish broadcast next year. Is where we're going.
Oh, mercy! That would be hard. I already get tongue twisted a lot, so that's pretty entertaining, especially when you go into Call of Duty lobbies. Or the ACS Discord, the ACS Drift Discord, catch people off guard by doing the Telemundo broadcast. It's a fun time.
Well, now it looks like all the drivers are getting ready to change their tires because now that we've had our final 4 battles, we have our finals and our runner-up battle that we've got to do. So while the drivers take our time, we're going to go to commercial break really quickly, and we'll be right back with our third place battle and our finals.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Nico Christides, the owner of Golden Grown. I started a hemp farm in Sierra Valley, California for my autistic daughter, Elena, and my CBD is 100% organic. The difference between THC and CBD is all natural. It's 100% organic. THC is mind-altering. That's not what Golden Grown sells. Golden Grown sells an experience of an organic, natural supplement to make you relax. One of our best sellers is a CBD oil strip. It is absolutely amazing. 100% organic, FDA approved. You take a strip out, you put it on your tongue, it dissolves in your mouth, and it's total relaxation, stress reliever in about 20 minutes. I wouldn't sell something to you that I wouldn't personally have in my own home. Stay tuned for our newest Golden Grown's Bake and Blaze. We are the first and only original home of CB pizza.
Ultimate lubricant. Mortis. Ultimate lubricant. Mortis.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to US Drift Circuit Formula Drift Pro-Am, the finals. We are here and we are about to go out of our final four and into our finals, a third place battle, but not before finishing a one more time, which is a redo from our final four. This one is the one between Sasha Prospero and Ryan Acevedo. We saw a pretty good battle. Question is, who wants it more?
I am very curious to see how they perform, but we got Sasha Prospero in the lead. Ryan Acevedo in the chase. Here we go. This is a one more time battle. Sasha coming in for the first outer zone, filling it out. Ryan Acevedo staying close to him and trying to keep that proximity throughout this DSO zone into this inner clip. Ryan Acevedo is sticking it to him all the way through, riding his coattails all the way to the end of that outer zone. Oh, mercy.
That even looked like there might have been just like a little bit of a love tap there at the end. That was an awesome job by both drivers coming in. Pull them on fresh tires too. They went back, they changed up. That's why you can see Ryan Acevedo's back wheels now looking bronze. As they came through that first corner, both drivers did a good job on commitment. A little bit of bobbling from Ryan Acevedo coming into that second outside zone. And then as they went to that inner clip, we saw Sasha Prospero do a great job, adjust, get out wide. And as soon as Ryan Acevedo saw that he was comfortable, he went ahead and went after him. No contact there at the end too. They kept it clean, according to the drone footage.
I'm very curious on how Sasha is gonna just pick it up, how aggressive he's gonna be in the initiation, or is he gonna give him some space like he did before and try to reel him in like a big old fish?
Yeah, and a big part of driving aggressive is making sure that you're driving on a tire where you know when the grip and traction is going to be there when it counts, which is why we're happy to have Kenda Tires with us on board with US Drift Circuit. A really reliable tire, great driver program. Many of the drivers have used Kenda Tires, had lots of fun driving on them.
All right, we have Ryan Acevedo in the lead. Sasha Prospero coming in the chase, keeping that proximity and slipping it right on by, losing that proximity in that second outer zone. But Ryan Acevedo is filling it out, going to that inner clip. Sasha Prospero is coming in with the Apex Automotive S chassis, trying to stick it into that C. And oh my goodness. Wow.
That one's looking like, again, I'm not the judges, but it looks to me like Ryan Acevedo might have a little bit of an advantage after both of those runs. I mean, we saw Sasha Prospero dropping off, getting a little bit off track as he tried to keep up with Ryan Acevedo. He just saw him drop a tire, but it definitely created separation throughout the rest of the run. And that previous run we just saw, Ryan Acevedo was taking names and was staying close on his door the entire run.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see that kind of stuff, especially towards the end of the competition. But within the chase, we saw Ryan Acevedo did a great job mimicking the lead driver, and then we see Sasha Prospero kind of falling out as soon as he went probably one tire off on that first outer zone, and then he had to kind of cut the track to try to get that proximity on outer zone 2, riding into the inner clip. That's going to be a big struggle to see from these drivers. But then what's going to happen? The winner of this goes on to the battle of first and second, and then the loser goes on to the battle for third and fourth.
So basically, John Temple's watching this saying, who is going to be my next meal is what's happening right now. Yeah. John Temple's sitting here saying, whoever loses this is my new competitor.
Yeah. And, man, Stephen is also looking at this and seeing, oh, man, what am I going to get myself into on this next battle? But, man, some of these guys out here, like, they look at these battles or they don't even pay attention. They're like, all right, I know how this guy drives, and now I'm going to just attack that way and know how to kind of change my style and to be as fluid as possible in the chase. In the lead, you're just doing your own thing, and hopefully that chase driver spins out or zeroes his run out so you could have an advantage when you're in the chase.
I mean, you said it too. A lot of these drivers, they drive together with each other all the time to the fun days, and this all goes away when they get on to the next step. I mean, Luis Lanz, congratulations once again to him. Once he moves on to Pro Spec, these are all now completely foreign drivers with their own driving style. And when you come up to the events, it becomes way more than just a traditional spotter you need. You almost need to be doing chalk talk in between practice and qualifying and competition to continue knowing who's having a good day, who's having a bad day, because that's going to create your strategy going through competition. But right now, this far forward, everyone's car is working, so it's just about driving style.
And it looks like Ryan Acevedo moves on.
And that means we are going to see another S chassis versus S chassis battle. Only we're going to see S chassis with V8 versus S chassis with V8 in that third place competition with John Temple. So now we're going into our final four, and we are going to see John Temple with his tires hopefully already changed start to make his way out to the grid to do his third place battle, and Ryan Acevedo getting ready for the finals, while Sasha Prospero changing his tires to get over to his battle. So we're going to take another commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to dive right into our third place battle as soon as we get back from commercial.
Instagram, YouTube, Station.
Ultimate lubricant. Mortis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to get right back to the action. So Sasha Prospero choosing not to change his tires, getting right back out there to the line. So we're about to go into our fourth place battle with John Temple and Sasha Prospero entering the burnout box.
That's a very interesting tactic right there. Going no tires. Maybe he's thinking about how Temple is possibly a little bit underpowered, so he was able to kind of save the tires going through. But that might be a crucial mistake on his part, man.
Well, in some setups, some drivers feel like they have the best quality out of their inconsistency out of their tires at the middle when it's not a super fresh tire. You know, some people know that they get a little bit more break and give out of their tire. Some people can go 6-8 laps on a single set. So if Sasha Prospero is feeling good with the amount of grip he's got right now, then you know, I can only suspect that if he doesn't, then those are the same qualities that would make sense if he were running a Kenda tire, which is one of our awesome partners with us here at US Drift Circuit. So very excited to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I am, and I just the one thing is, especially going into this kind of event, Sasha Prospero has been in this battle for the podium. Like we were saying earlier, this John Temple's probably first podium chase right now. So he is locked in, maybe a little bit of nerves right off the rip on the line, but he is probably just saying, hey, let me huck this thing as hard as I can into that first outer zone and then ride the whole track all the way through.
All right, so they're at the line.
We have some food vendors out here. I saw you at the taco truck.
Oh yeah, the food trucks that are out here, I mean, they are worth the drive on their own. I was out there, got some burrito tacos. I saw you were chowing down on a burrito earlier.
Oh man, it was good. My son killed the quesadilla. He was enjoying that. He kind of got me on snow cones, so he was like, I want a snow cone. I'm like, all right, bud, let's go get a snow cone. But it ends up he just drinks the cold juice on the bottom. It doesn't even eat the snow. So it's pretty funny. But then we have the taxi garage guys out here in their little carts. And the US Drift Circuit merch out here, if you notice, I got the hat. My son picked it out, so I'm going to wear it.
Yeah, I mean, there are two things that look good on anyone's head: an OMP racing helmet in a race car and a US Drift Circuit cap. And we have both of those with us. And I gotta say, one of my favorites is the sun cap. If you haven't had a chance to see the sun cap yet, it is a lot like the Quicksilver straw hats that you see a lot of people wearing at outdoor events. Only the US Drift Circuit one, it's got pictures of most of the cars in the series in action along the inside of the brim. We introduced those this year, and at many of our events, they've sold out. So very cool apparel to bring out there. And when you take it outside of a US Drift Circuit event, it also does a great job at just bringing some awareness to what we're doing here.
On the other side of the track, we still have the fun run going on, I believe. I'm seeing a bunch of smoke out there. They're just sending it. That was the round 2 layout that they're out there and doing tandems, different levels and stuff like that of drivers. How do you, as a person that's wanting to get into drifting, how do you get into that kind of stuff? Do you just pay into it? Do you tell them your skill level? What's going on?
Well, one of my favorite parts about drifting as a motorsport is that it's something that you can see and go do relatively quickly and affordably. It does get very expensive when people take it seriously and get into competition, but if you're just trying to attend a drift event, you need a rear-wheel drive car. You need it to be able to get some sort of a steering angle. That's really just a plus. And be able to just weld the rear differential. A lot of cars come with an LSD, and you can come to these events as long as you've got a battery tie down, all your studs are in, and you don't have any massive cracks in your windshield. You just have to pass a safety inspection. And you can't say the same about other things. You can't just go do Formula One. You can't just go do NASCAR. But when you see a drift event, you realize these guys are driving cars that are pretty easy to get a hold of.
Yeah. Well, we see Sasha Prospero warming up the tires, as well as John Temple. He's going to start off in the chase. This is the battle for third place. Sasha Prospero in the lead. John Temple in the chase. We're going to see who goes to the podium. I hope you guys are excited in the crowd seeing these guys out here slaying and performing at their peak. Here we go. The lights are green. Going through, Sasha Prospero in the lead. S-Chassis, Apex Automotive. John Temple coming in and trying to get a nice flick, keeping that proximity in that first outer zone, going all the way through to the second outer zone. And John Temple loses a little proximity, but he keeps it, sticking to him. It looks like Sasha loses a little bit on that inner cliff, going all the way around. John Temple all the way through, losing a bumper. Man, oh man.
And that bumper is still hanging on. For a moment, it looked like it was going to fly away. Speaking of things that fly away, thank you so much for Flyday Drones out here doing a great job getting you all your drone footage and also being able to turn it into some awesome clips that you see online. He's able to do the live feed and then also get a lot of the great stuff we see on Instagram Reels on the US Drift Circuit page later.
Yeah, you caught me twerking last round.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Getting the stuff that matters.
Yeah. So the story behind that, I didn't know he was recording. Like, I thought he was just, if he was telling me he lands and he has a camera there just so he could see it.
Oh, he's deadly with it.
But he records it when he wants to. So, yeah, thanks, Flydays, for catching me twerking. But anyway, we got John Temple in the lead. Sasha Prospero in the chase. We're waiting for the lights. And the drone. As it's going through the first turn. Lights are going on. Seems like they're trying to rip off that bumper. They're currently ripping off the bumper. They got it off. Looks like the guy at the gate is here. We go. John Temple in the lead. Sasha Prospero in the chase. Coming in. John Temple. Nice, good, aggressive flick. Oh, a little wavering from Sasha Prospero. John Temple is throttling it out. Going to that second out of the zone. Billy all the way out. Sasha Prospero is trying to get door to door. All the way through that third outer zone. John Temple is fighting through and getting all that in a bag of marbles. It looks like Sasha Prospero is trying to struggle to keep that proximity in the beginning. Had to slow down a lot and caused a little bobble.
I mean, John Temple right there putting down a killer run. We haven't seen a run like that out of him all day. He was a little bit shallow on that first outside zone, but as you see him flick out there, wasn't afraid to use the momentum of the car and commit. And the real question is going to be whether or not it's going to be enough, because Sasha Prospero's lead run on the previous one was really good. We know John Temple fell a little bit behind. So ultimately, it's going to be up to the judges. That's how it looked from our view. We're hoping we got some big fans of both these guys out here. Some Prospero fans, some Temple fans. And there we go. Sasha officially gets the win. Sasha is your third place winner of round 4. Sasha Prospero is moving on, and John Temple will be taking 4th place, which may not be a podium position, but he's got every reason to be proud of himself for today. He's done an excellent job driving, and this is going to set the tone for next year.
John Temple out there waving his hand. Getting excited. But we have our final battle.
The finals.
The finals.
Finals.
The finals. Stephen versus Ryan. Los finales. I got the judges love the Telemundo voice. They've been trying to get me to speak Spanish more. El final de round 4. So we got Ryan Acevedo in the Z. Stephen is going to be in the S chassis. We are in the battle for 1st and 2nd place. Ryan Acevedo versus Stephen. This is the 2nd time in a row Ryan Acevedo has been in this position. He won the last round. Now he's going to see if he could get a back-to-back. Here we go. Ryan Acevedo in the chase. Stephen Tassinaro in the lead. Black S chassis versus 350Z. Stephen looks like a possible tire drop. A lot of black smoke in the first outer zone. Stephen Tassinaro going through that 2nd outer zone. All the way through. Ryan Acevedo is trying to keep that proximity throughout that whole thing and going into that 3rd outer zone. Wow. There's a lot of smoke on that first initiation.
I got a question about that driving.
Why is it spicy?
They're out here just killing it, bringing it all, hanging 10. Stephen Tassinaro looking like he had a little bit of a dirt drop on that initiation and a little bit more of a tire drop on that first outer zone. But both of these guys absolutely sending it. Ryan Acevedo actually looking like he held back a little bit, was a little too nervous to just send it in deep into that inner clip to try and play catch up. And he just kind of left the door way open for Stephen Tassinaro to have his way with the rest of the course.
I'm confused. Well, I'm not confused. I'm more curious on if Ryan saw the tire drop possibly on that first initiation and was like, oh, I got this. I'm going to slow it down a little bit, give him space. But we got them switching sides. Ryan Acevedo in the lead. Steven in the chase. The battle for first and second. Who will be this round's first place winner? We will see after this battle. We're getting the track crew off, and here we go. We see Ryan Acevedo probably is shaking it off and trying to get in the zone right off the rip. Here we go. Ryan Acevedo in the lead with the 350Z coming in. And nice big flick at the 2-cone going into that first outer zone. Looks like a tire drop from Ryan Acevedo, but being extra aggressive all the way through to the second outer zone. Filling it all the way out, going into that inner clip, a little shallow. Here we go to the third and final outer zone of this battle for first and second place. Oh, no!
Mercy. We definitely had some contact right there at the end. We're going to see the judges be able to look over their shoulder and take a look at that replay. I mean, both of these drivers are giving everything they've got. This is the last round of the year. Ryan Acevedo in the lead position dropping off, and then Stephen Tassinaro just following along with him. He narrowed out on angle as he went into round 2 in the chase, or into the second corner in the chase position. And then he was able to reel him back in the last zone. And then as we see them coming across the finish line, we obviously see a little bit of contact right there. Stephen Tassinaro looked like he was in the process of making a pretty big mistake of coming off course. And it looked like he changed trajectory and just kind of pinned the back of Ryan Acevedo's car.
It looked like Steven possibly gripped up a little bit on that final outer zone and almost pit maneuvered Ryan Acevedo. Waiting for the judges' deliberation on this. Now it's hot. Now you're feeling it? Yeah. We have people watching on the sidelines, seeing who's going to get this win. We're looking at, the judges are looking at the replays and determining different things from the lead and chase.
All right, it looks like the judges have made a decision. They have made a decision, so the drivers are going to go ahead and pull up in front of everyone, and we'll go ahead and get them lined up. We'll get our third place back out here. So Ryan Acevedo and Stephen Tassinaro will both pull forward as the judges have made a decision.
So we're looking, the judges are looking at the replays back to back, trying to figure out what's going on. and they did come up with a decision. You see in the replays of multiple different types of mistakes that was done with the drivers. We are at the final round. This is the momentum shift for the next year. They know they've gotten locked in. So we're waiting for our third place driver to go out there and seeing what's going on. We still have a bunch of people out here hanging out. Appreciate everybody being out here and enjoying the drift event. Probably enjoying the food, enjoying the company of everybody. I see Sasha starting to drive up. Sasha in the Apex Automotive S chassis.
Check, check.
And we see the drivers now going to be driving up to where the final announcement is going to be.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what do we think about that, guys? All the battles today, all the sponsors out here, and everybody coming out on this beautiful day. Little windy, but having a good one. I'm not hearing much noise from the fans. Can we hear some noise? Absolutely. Thank you, Nick. Hold on, I do need to hear who. I need to know. Shush, 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 shush. No, you announce that first. Obviously, you won. You don't overshadow, and then you go first. That's the way it's done, man. Mic is on. Mic, everybody can hear me, right? I'm sure you can hear me without the mic, but we do want to say thank you for all the sponsors coming out here, all the drivers. Let's give all a big round of applause for everybody out here real quick. Sponsors, yes, the absolute sponsors. We've got a few. We've got Taxi Garage. We have a list on my phone that I'm going to pull out for 2 seconds. Sorry, everybody. All right. And so, obviously, US Drift's circuit coming out here with Golden Grown, Signature Culture, Kenda Tires, Morty's, BC Racing, OMP, Taxi Garage, KBD, Link ECU, Outlaw Network, Fly Drones, Gulf Coast, myself, Jackson Performance, and everybody here at the Sebring family making this kind of possible. Enough about that boring stuff. We want to see who won, right? So I got told by a gentleman over there that I'm just supposed to announce the first place first. I don't know. I'm going to announce third place real quick with Sasha over here getting third place. All right. And we are going to go for first. The guy that brought it home today, Ryan Acevedo with the win. Steven getting second place. Absolutely battling it out. Phenomenal job, you guys. Congratulations. The champagne on ice, everybody. These guys put a lot of hours in. You have no idea the amount of time and effort that goes in if you aren't on one of these teams. Getting to see two Florida boys over here that have been battling at OSW constantly for the last years. Ryan coming off sim, Stephen coming from tons of issues in these cars, coming out and absolutely battling it up and trying to get first. Ryan just clenched just barely, just a little.
All right, we want to thank everybody out here. I hope you guys are as excited. We have Luis Lanz out here. He is going to Formula Drift Pro Spec. I am so excited for that individual. Man, family, friends, all out here, all being cheerful. Ryan Acevedo is coming up to his door, saying what's up. This guy has been a true class act throughout the competition, and I want to thank every one of you. You're about to see him at the Formula Drift stage.
Absolutely. Super pumped for him to be out here with his family. I was lucky enough to be there when he found out he had his family there. It was tearful. I almost had a tear come out of my face. It was nuts. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
As it's already been announced, I don't want to overshadow or anything like that, but to let you guys know, if once we have trophies and champagne and stuff, and absolutely.
We have Luis Lanz over there cheering, dabbing up everybody. He's been already showered with champagne, but he's been doing a lot of fun events out here in Orlando. If you ever are out at Orlando into any drift event, he's out there competing with the other drivers and having a good time.
Getting a little premature. Well, with that, guys, I have a trophy in my hand for third place for this championship. We want to go ahead and make sure that we announce that out real quick. That's going to go to Stephen, third place overall.
Nice.
Congratulations. Worked his butt off, all of the issues. Super pumped. Which means if with the subtraction, I can do math. Ryan Acevedo, second place over here, which gives Luis over here first place. Where's his trophy? No.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have somewhere to go.
Just take it, Dustin.
No.
You got it.
Dang it.
You all right there, Dustin?
Oh man, good job, guys. Just take your first place trophy. Gosh. Bunny, you here? All right. So with that being said, congratulations. We can do this on camera now. Congratulations winning first place. I know we got to talk a little bit earlier, but what does it mean to you with all the everything you're doing? You're trying to bring this program to the next level. What you thinking?
I guess we're going pro, man, so it's like, let's do our best that we can to, put Florida on the map and actually show what we're made of.
I love how media trained you were. Instead of just saying, yeah, we're number one, you're like, we're number one, we're going to do this for Florida. But everybody, let's give a round of applause. Florida coming out, going into FD, trying to make a difference. Love to see it. Steven, come on over here. How are you feeling, man? I mean, you did so much. You've done everything from OSW. You're one of those drivers that I've always looked up to, and it's amazing to see you on this stage now. How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel great. I mean, it takes a lot out of you to do this, a lot more than I thought. So I couldn't be happier. My friends are awesome. They're the only reason I get to do it. So thank you.
Absolutely. Like I said, the team is really back there. You guys don't realize for every driver, the amount of hours that goes into this, every tire, you're talking over $140 a tire. They're going through so many sets out here, fuel, everything else. It's insane. With that being said, Ryan Acevedo coming from Sim, coming out the last few years, really showing up, been in competition now, your second year really going through, fully committed. How are you feeling?
Oh man, I feel great. We've been at it drifting for about 4 years, competing for 2 or 3 now. I kind of devote my whole life to this. I work at BC Racing. I'm always in the scene. I'm always trying to, push drifting as much as I can. Every aspect of my life is devoted to it. If I'm not in, clocked in at class or at work, I'm grinding on the sim. And I really wouldn't be able to piece it together without my friends, family, sponsors, ISR Performance, BC Racing, Brad at Locals Pub in Orange Park, Florida. Those guys really make it. Can even come out here and do this and even push ourselves. And I'm really thankful for those guys for being able to have the opportunity to put myself in a position like this. So.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. All Florida boys, come here real quick. Hopefully we're going to have some fun. No. Cannot wait until we're out there all having fun tandeming back on the skid pad. Absolutely. Congratulations again.
All right, everybody, thank you. That was a great season. Thank you, all the fans, all the other drivers, all the crews. I know how much work it is. Everybody, thank you so much. I'm signing off. See you next year.